Hey guys, what's up? It's the Snake Dude 1814 here, and in this week's video, I'm going to be giving you 5 tips on how to help your snake get a successful shed. Let's get started. So for tip number 1, I highly recommend the use of a humid hide. So for those of you that do not know what a humid hide is, it serves as a cave that the snake can retreat to that has access to higher levels of ambient humidity. Obviously, they come in many sizes. This hide I have here is a large Zilla rock layer. Another example of what I have for my other corn snake is a medium Zoomed Repti shelter. And usually how the humid hide works is that it's filled up with damp moss. As you can see, I took the top part off of this quickly to show you. Vegas is sort of sitting in and out of his hide at the moment like this. But as you can see, there's some damp moss in there, and that is used to keep a ambient humidity inside the hide, and this will aid in his shedding. Tip number 2 for helping your snake shed their skin is quite simple again. Just like how moss raises humidity, a simple mist down of the habitat keeps the ambient humidity high, adds moisture into the air. As you can see, I just missed the surfaces of the habitat. That way water evaporates and it'll create a higher ambient humidity to help shed the skin. Tip number 3 would have to be covering a section of the screen after you missed your habitat. Since Vegas here is going into shed, excuse the reflection, I just shut his doors, I have actually placed one of these plastic cutouts that came with the tank he is currently in, and they actually fit into these sections of screen to hold humidity. Obviously, if you're using other tanks like my other corn snake's habitat, which you can see here, you can obviously add tinfoil, plastic wrap. I've seen people use cloth to cover habitats. The issue I worry with cloth is that being a sort of fiber material next to a heat lamp, you have a fire hazard. And to be honest, I have found that in my older days of keeping reptiles, using the plastic wrap and the tinfoil holds humidity much better. Tip number 4 is quite simple, and that would be the use of a large water bowl. When I say the use of a large water bowl, I mean relative to the surface size of your tank. Again, excuse the reflection, his tank has a glass front and my window is sort of open, so it can be hard to sort of picture. But if you can see, obviously if you're keeping something like a Burmese python, it doesn't need to soak in the water bowl. It would be ideal, but a large water bowl definitely aids in higher ambient humidity, which again will help your snake shed his skin. Both of my snakes have these large water bowls, as you can see. One is a rock type, the other I believe this is a Zoomed extra large. And while my snakes have the option to soak in it, it still provides enough ambient humidity to where they can have happy, healthy sheds. And lastly, tip number 5 I would say would not to feed your snake during a shed cycle. Now, I know this can be debated, but personally from my own experience, I have found that when I have fed my snakes during a shed cycle, they actually had issues shedding because a shed cycle requires the snake to use a lot of its energy to change the layers of skin. And when you feed them during a shed cycle, they're not only using energy for shedding, but now they have to digest food. And on top of that, I found out when they're just really using a lot of energy, you don't always get a full, healthy shed. However, when I've put them off feed during a shed cycle like so, I have definitely observed that my snakes have happy, healthy shed cycles. Of course, if you don't know when your snake is going into a shed cycle, there's a few tricks. One, as you can see, Vegas here, he looks a bit dull, and that's because he's getting ready to shed off his old skin. Now, if you look at the image right here that I am showing, he actually has blue eyes, and that's part of when the snake is mid-shed. A lot of us reptile keepers refer to that as when they are in blue, and that's definitely a tip I would keep in mind when you're unaware of when your snake is going to shed its skin. So overall, guys, I really hope you found this video helpful. If you liked it, leave a like. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. I greatly appreciate it. And always, 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 make sure to stay tuned for live streams. I upload weekly, and comment down below what you thought of my videos. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Adios.